A very good morning to one and all attending this webinar, especially Gunasundari ma'am for providing this opportunity to share my knowledge about data analysis. Let me ask a simple question. For what basic skill or what basic quality different people get different salary? One could complete, let's take a batch of PE students. Let's take the strength is 60 people. Not all the 60 people would land in same kind of job, right? And not all of them would be in a job itself. Some may do business at some point of time, and some may get landed in a small job at the beginning of their career, and then they might go to top. Some may get placed in a big job, and then they might slide down. So different people would be in different cadre. At all, finally, just imagine that different people are earning different money. What is the basic quality that makes them get paid different pays? What is the quality? You can just ping your answers in the chat box. Okay, Manjula has pinged interest and skills. That's good. What else? That could be any quality like learning, understanding skills, giving attention, like that, any skills. Okay, learning. Abhishek has told learning. Nothing else. There is nothing, no difference between all of us. Even now, we all have 60 people attending this. Expertism by Priyadarshini. Okay, then interest by Yashwant. Then yeah, please be interactive, guys, because uh, this is not even a direct session. Conducting a webinar is a very difficult thing, right? So uh, at one end, the speaker will be talking. At the other end, it is very difficult to note the interactivity and attention of audience. So try to be as interactive as possible via chat box. Ask as many questions as well. That shows your involvement. Yeah, involvement by Harita. Anything else? One point of uniqueness where one is more suitable for the role. Okay. Gunasundari ma'am, have you started recording? Okay, I hope you have started recording. If not, please do. Okay, fine. So I get different answers. In my point of view, it is nothing but decision-making skill. Did you guess? Did anybody guess this particular option, the decision-making skill? Wherever we take any decision in our day-to-day life, is just by thinking about what happened last time or what will happen by choosing that particular decision, right? There is nothing but analyzing our past or future and making decisions based on it, like, based on our own personal, what to say, personal experiences. For that, we gather memories of our past or dreams of our future, right? For example, taking a college, choosing a college would be a very big decision. So we gather all our previous experiences like மாமா என்ன சொன்னாங்க இவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்க so இந்த காலேஜ் நல்லா இருக்கா so we would have gathered many experiences at the past. Also we would be thinking about the dreams of our future. For example, if you are very much passionate about marine engineering, there is no reason to join in a reputed college, even it is a reputed college, where there is no course for marine engineering. So You think about your past and also dreams of your future. So based on that, you will be taking decision. This is nothing but the data analysis. You come to the point. So data analysis is everywhere. It is present in our day-to-day life, and also it is present in businesses as well. Now the same thing, if an data analyst does for business purposes with company's data, then it is called as data analysis, right? That's a simple term. Just understand the term. That is very, very important. You can read the concepts by yourself, like what is data analysis, what is big data, or what is R programming, Python, everything you can read on your own. But learning it with the right knowledge level is very important. That is where the people who get into the work for the first time differs with those who are already working, the experienced people, right? So that is why such colleges are conducting webinars. So understand the basics of such terminologies, data analysis, what is being meant in actual real-time scenarios. So like that, you try to understand, right? So let's come back to decision making. Once again, every progress in a work is driven by decision making, right? If a programmer decides, if a programmer need to decide to write a code snippet which should have which should be segregating a multiple set of categories. For example, he need to set a condition based on different countries: US 10%, India 5%, China 3%, like that. In that case, he need to decide whether if else branch will be suitable or switch statement will be suitable. Both can do that operation, but he need to decide using which kind of branching statement will be more effective for the program to run faster, right? That is where a well efficient programmer who earns a more better salary will be deciding properly than a normal programmer who earns a normal salary will be deciding, okay, rendu onnu thana, we can choose anyone. You understand the difference? Similarly, a businessman will be deciding. Everybody is a businessman, from a petty shop owner till Mukesh Ambani. Everybody is a businessman. While they are just discussing with the customer, they'll be thinking to say, okay, இந்த customer ரொம்ப பேசுறான், fine, what can we do? Whether can we give him some more discount, or even let us change our way of language. We can let us talk in a kind words so that we could win the deal. So he'll be deciding either to give more discount or kind words. More discount will decrease his profit but win the sales. Kind words will give the actual profit itself, also win the sales deal. So he'll be deciding which one to choose. Similarly, a data analyst will be deciding, okay, this is the data, which model I have to choose. Linear model will be best to work upon, or regression model will be best to work upon. Like that, he'll be thinking and deciding. And also, this is a basic question which I get frequently while talking about data analysis and also this data analytics. What is the basic difference? Just simple, very simple. Let's say that you have 1 GB customer purchase related data. Just consider that you have a lump sum data who last year's purchase data. In our language, consider Reliance Trends. I hope all of you would have visited Reliance Trends shop. So Reliance Trends purchase related data is there, past 1 year data. So a task is being assigned to data analyst. He's been assigned that he should analyze and find what are the customers' next possible purchases. Last year, customers would have purchased, for example, let's dive into one sector, considering the age factor between 18 to 25, and also considering the gender as female. More number of kurtis has been sold. Just imagine like that. So this is a historical data. He found something. Along with this information, he should analyze the future trend also. For example, this COVID-19 situation itself. In this COVID-19 situation, obviously it is clear that for the next 6 months or 1 year, we won't be going outside. like we won't be attending parties and all. So a costly varieties of kurtis won't be selling, even though it is being selling very it is having a great sales volume last year. It won't be selling in future for at least for the next 6 months to 1 year. So that data analysis should decide that, okay, even though this has a good sales, kurtis has a good sales last year, this might not have good sales in the next 6 months. So we should not purchase that. Alternatively, we should purchase casual kind of dress, because most of them would be in their homes. So we have to stock up our shop with such kind of apparels. Like the data analytics, data analyst will tell the future what should be done. It's like that he'll be doing. Coming to data analysis, it is simply just telling about the past data alone. Simply like, yeah, again, let's take this COVID-19 situation itself. What our news channels are telling. So till yesterday, this is the confirmed count. Till yesterday, this is the recovered count. So they just tell what has happened in the past. That's it, right? So this is nothing but data analysis. It is nothing but we look into the past. Data analysis is nothing but we look into the past. That's all, fine. So as the title told, I'm going to use the COVID-19 data to explain about this data analysis with Power BI. Fine. I hope you get into the context. Yeah, I'm sorry, Manjula. I'll be proceeding with English one. Okay. So just imagine this thing. It can be either of tool you might be using for data analysis, or you might be writing a code to do the data analysis. That is analyzing the past data. It will be doing first these three options. First one is connecting. First of all, you will be connecting the data source, right? So you will be having the data in CSV or Excel or somewhere in SQL Server or MySQL, whatever it may be. First of all, you will be connecting to the data, right? Considering the security standards. So that is the first portion, connect. Next, it is visualize. It is not only visualize, analyze and visualize. This is the most worked out part. We'll be analyzing the data. We'll be doing all the transformations. We'll be checking all the data is fine or not. That is nothing but cleaning up the data, and then we'll be analyzing it. Okay, what are all the columns we need to play, and what is the metrics I have to find? All these things analyze, and finally you'll be visualizing. Visualize is nothing but you'll be visualizing in a dashboard or some kind of reporting tool, right? And finally you'll be sharing. So as students and colleagues, you'll be completing your project and you will be sharing that to your HOD or your ma'am also. That is also very important, right? It is not that you have completed that work and everything is fine. You have to share to the right person in an understandable manner, right? And sharing also includes a secure kind of sharing. If it is a very secure data, for example, let's take this COVID-19 data itself. Government is requesting for number of beds and a number of ICUs, number of ventilators available in each and every hospital. Hospitals will not be straight away giving that. They'll be telling government that, sir, we are giving this data, but don't convey it to others like that, because it is their business data, right? So they'll be giving those data in a secure manner. The government will be analyzing, okay, so and so number of beds are available and the ICUs and ventilators are available. Will this be equivalent for to handle this pandemic for next 2 months? Like that, they'll be doing some analytics and finding some insights. So in that case, they will not be sharing the data to anyone, right? So it is a very secure data. The same government is sharing some data, which is this confirmed count, the death count, recovered count by hospital, by city, like all those things. So that is shareable, which doesn't have any secure thing. But this hospital data, it is a little bit secure, because private hospitals doesn't wish to have their such kind of resources exposed publicly. So Sharing is another important thing which considers security as well. Coming back to the data source. So when you are involved in a data analysis project, it is not that you will be dealing with one data source alone. You will be dealing with n number of data sources based on the use case. Again, coming to the same COVID-19 thing itself, you all know that government is providing data in public sites that is open to be accessible by all. They'll be releasing it as a bulletin in the form of PDF file or a CSV file, like that, whatever it may be. So in that case, the confirmed recovered death count, they just think that these kind of data are being released as a CSV file, simple CSV file. So this is one. Similarly, hospitals are providing the data about their beds available and ICUs available, ventilators available in the form of Excel file. So this is another data source. So for one single project itself, to determine whether the Coimbatore government or Chennai government, Chennai corporation is able to handle the pandemic, they need to connect with different data sources. That is what I'm coming to say. Okay, that data sources can be in a simple file, or it can be in a database like MySQL or SQL Server, or it can be a web data source as well, like even a GitHub or whatever it may be. Right. So many data sources will involve in a data analysis project. So having present this much of data sources throughout our technical environment, it will be very difficult. What kind of data source is this? What should I do? How should I enable connectivity? It is very difficult. So for that, what I'll be doing is I'll first segregate it as whether it is fit in SQL or not SQL kind of thing. So SQL is nothing but if the data is simply in a representation of table with rows and columns, then it is SQL, right? That is what it is called as RDBMS. It is nothing but Excel, Microsoft SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, all these databases, all these are, you can definitely call it as a SQL data, right? When it comes to not SQL, it considers both NoSQL and other kind of databases as well. I don't want to confuse too much. Just consider it as not SQL. Not SQL is nothing but it looks like a table, but not exactly like a table. Consider it as a CSV file. Yes, it looks like a rows and columns format, but one separated file might have comma, one file might have tab, like that. Like that, different files will be different formats. So it is not called as fully structured. It is called as semi-structured, right? So CSV and JSON, I hope you all know. There are other big data formats like Avro and XML. So JSON and XML are nothing but hierarchical data formats. And there are other formats like nodes and edges as well. For example, these are called graph databases, which to simply remember, you can take an example of Facebook. So Facebook, what it does, I am a friend of Gunasundari ma'am. So Gunasundari ma'am is working in Pratisha Engineering College. So Pratisha Engineering Colleges, all the students might be notified with my profile. So Gunasundari ma'am's friend is Dinesh. So would you like to connect? Like that, you will be linked up. So graph database is nothing but it is a collection of nodes and edges where it will be linked to one another. Friend of friend, friend of friend, friend of friend, like that it will be going on, right? So it's fine if it doesn't understand. For now, just imagine that if it is a structure, then it is SQL. If it is not structured, then it is not SQL, right? So the next thing is analyze and visualize, right? It is I have just placed the word analyze alone, visualize alone. Just imagine that it is analyze and visualize. Okay, so for analyzing, it is not that we need to go with tools. We can also use with languages like Python and R, and there are many other tools like Talend, Data Quality Studio, like that. Many things are there. Thing is, this is the one most important thing. which gets the cream out of data. There is a huge data, but from that huge chunk of data, the useful information will be extracted, and from the useful insights will be extracted. Fine. So I would say out of all, data analysis is most important process for success of any data project, being at the middle and playing a major role, right? So once again, let me just tell this cycle with an example. Let's consider that with this COVID-19 data itself, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is the one who is playing a major role, right, to handle this situation. Right? So he gets a lot of question. I mean, he gets a lot of task. First of all, the task is handle this pandemic, right? So at that point of time, he gets a lot of why questions to himself. He asks himself why. Why? Uh, what happens if this pandemic is not handled? What happens if we just allow businesses to run as usual, and why can't we just allow the business run as usual? Because government needs fund also to handle. So like that, he gets a lot of questions why, and also for each and every why, he submits the queries to the engineering team. Fine. That engineering team will be start analyzing. Okay, what happens if there is no lockdown, the businesses are running, still will be able to manage this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, will be able to manage the pandemic. This is the single drill down question given to one engineering team by Chief Minister. Just imagine it. So that engineering team will be start analyzing, okay, what are all data we need? We need the population data till the core, like city level, zone level, street level, each and every house, like that. They need the population data, and historically how this pandemic has been in other countries like China, Italy, and also and other countries, because before India itself, those countries were affected. So those historical data from where they need to get those data should be official and dependable, right? We cannot something get some random data and do some analysis and give decision to chief minister, right? So it should be a reliable data. Like that, they'll be doing all those analysis and they start the preparation. That is nothing but cleaning. Let's take a simple example of transformation, cleaning and transformation. Different countries will be following different date-time formats. We Indians will be having the date-time format as date, month, and year. But in US, they'll be following as month, date, and year. So like the different formats will be there. So this data engineering team, after acquiring data, they'll be doing all the transformation to have a consistent date format throughout all the data. Once that data preparation is done, they start the analysis. This is the very important part. They analyze the history, and they, based on the future requirements, what should be done, and what kind of languages, programming languages they need to use. Everything will be decided, and almost they'll be finding the insights in programmatical level, right? It is a programmatical, the decisions will be formatted in programmatical level, not in a simple level like anyone can understand. At this stage itself, mostly the answer will be derived, but the chief minister will not be able to understand. For that, next, just skip this part. For that, next, they'll be going to visualization. They'll be converting those raw data into visual in form of dashboards and reports that could be easily understandable. Fine. And finally, they'll maintain it for everyday data update. That's why we are able to get the data every day, right? For first time only, they'll be taking all these time to create this environment. But later on, they can the based on the maintenance cycle, they'll be getting the up-to-date data as soon as possible. Fine. Okay. So if you are not able to follow, or if it is too technical, just let me know. Okay. I'm trying to get down as simple as possible with industry standard that we follow. How we'll be looking at out a project, and how we'll be doing analysis. Right. So once again, if we just talk about what is the importance of data analysis, just imagine if we do all the analysis and we submit the data to the chief minister with thousands of rows in an Excel file. Will he be able to understand what it is and take quick decision? It is not at all possible. But just think if it is conveyed as a bar chart and column chart. So this, like just imagine this bar chart is segregated with top 4 cities affected: Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, sorry, Chennai, Madurai, Chengalpattu, Tiruvallur, and so. So like this, he can be easily understand that, okay, Chennai is the most affected city. It will be very easy, right? Instead of Excel file with 1,000 rows, such a column chart or bar chart will be very easy to understand. And it actually allows you to see the story that lives in your data. The story is nothing but Chennai is most affected city. Next to Chennai, Madurai and Chengalpattu, all these cities are most affected. Like that, it actually gives the purpose of the original data. And finally, it allows you to discover the patterns. So how the growth rate was previously there for the past 10 days, what is the number of news cases has been there. Like that, it allows to get the history, discover the history of pattern, how fast it is growing. And it allows to get the current metrics. Currently, today, how many confirmed patients are there? Today, how many active patients are there? Like that, it allows to get the current metrics and spot trends. With this, we'll be able to analyze to some extent that, okay, in a couple of, in this month, we might expect a downfall of new cases. Like that, he can spot the trends with his mind and super intellectual power. That is why they are in that position. I think you come by, just remember the first slide, decision making. Why such people are being in such a greater position? They have the decision making skill. They are not MBA graduates or MCA graduates, or they studied in Oxford or nothing. They have the decision making skill. When they are in a party meeting, they know how to speak among their party people to retain their position. When they are in a press meet, they know how to speak in front of press people to provide what kind of data and what should not be conveyed. That's why they are in that position. Fine. And finally, sharing and collaboration. As I told earlier, once you prepare the metrics, you will be submitting to uh, to some other person. Like, for example, just imagining with this case. Okay, even for this also, okay, let me tell with this example itself. Just imagine that in your college, there is one dashboard prepared about student analysis. The principal will be able to see all the departments data, fine. He'll be able to see all the departments, students count, attendance percent, and number of students by grade, and what examination, everything. The department head, for example, computer science department head, he might be able to see only specific department alone. A computer science department head will not be able to see the result of management department, right? Similarly, class tutors, that in that computer science department itself, MCA first year, second year, third year means MCA first year will be able to see the data of that particular class alone. So like that, the security is applied. Can you understand the point? It is not only sharing one dashboard, it is also applied with security. So that is also that is also will be playing a major role. And we can skip this. Yeah, coming to analysis, let me quickly show an Excel file. Okay, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose an Excel file. Just a minute. So it is just data with rows and columns. Okay, so it is nothing but the United States data. It is not only United States, throughout the world data about the confirmed death and recovered rate on this particular date. June 26, what is the confirmed death and recovered count? This is what this data means, fine? The same COVID-19 data. I haven't did anything, okay? I didn't do anything, just I have opened the file alone, that's it. So at the right end, you'll be able to see the this button, ideas, right? If I just click on there, it will be automatically analyzing the data. It will start analyzing the data, and in a couple of seconds, you will be provided with the insights directly. There is nothing to do. Fine. Let's wait for 1 or 2 seconds. It is still analyzing. It is having around 4,000 rows with 12 to 13 columns, I think. So it is analyzing this data and it is preparing the insights. I didn't do anything, right? So this is nothing but auto data analysis. We didn't do anything. We just opened the Excel file, the same Microsoft Excel, and it has analyzed everything and it is providing the insight. See, it has automatically populated the data in a bar chart and it is telling that US has noticeably higher deaths. It is not only populating the data, it is also telling that US has more deaths, like more than 50% of it. It is telling that. And when it comes to, yeah, this one, this is a correlation chart because it is telling that confirmed that deaths appear to be correlated, right? So more number of confirmed people are death appear to be fatality. So yeah, once again, Brazil and US have more number of recovered patients. So I didn't do anything. All these charts are automatically analyzed by Microsoft itself and it is populating by itself. So if you want to learn analysis, to find the answers, if you're a non-technical guy, then they can try straight away use this Excel file itself, Excel's ideas itself. Okay, it is a straight away tool, but the only thing is it will work only with internet. Your data will be uploaded to the Microsoft Power BI's, sorry, Microsoft machine learning model, online model. There it will be analyzed and it will be populated as widgets over here. Okay. Now let's come back to the PPT. Yeah. So let me just tell a few basic things which are very important for data analysis, right? The first one is dimensions and measures. This is very important to understand because whatever you do data analysis or you do big data, you do visualization, whatever you do, your data will be in either these two will be in these two kinds. Either it will be in dimension or it will be in metrics. If it is a metric, simply just decide that if one column is able to be summarized or aggregated, like you are able to do addition or min max like that, you are able to do some such kind of operation, do some average and sum, it is simply a metric. If you are not able to do, then it is dimension. For example, if you cannot add simply a city, Coimbatore and Chennai, you cannot simply add, but you can add Coimbatore's population and Chennai's population, right? So Coimbatore's population and Chennai population, this population data is metrics. Okay, simply the city name, the Chennai and Coimbatore, it is dimension, right? So you need to be able to understand whether it is a the dimension data or metrics data. Okay, that is very first most important thing. And second, you should be able to decide is your data is good enough for analysis, fine? So how do you find it generally? Usually in industries, they'll be doing a data profiling exercise. That is nothing but understanding the quality of your data. Okay, data is everywhere, but not all the data are quality or in good quality, right? So based on that quality decision, you can make either go or no go. Okay, we are ready to go for data analysis or we are not ready to go for data analysis. Like that, you can decide. Now, let me end the slideshow and going to present a quick demo. So, in the meantime, let me just check if there is any question. Okay, is the font size visible? I don't think I can increase the font of the screen. Maybe you can get the recording from Gunasundari ma'am and later on check again. Fine. Manjula has asked about the font size is too small. I don't think I can increase the font size. Okay. So in a previous slide, we just spoke about data profiling. Okay. That is analyzing the quality of data. To analyze the quality of data, either you can just open up your data and scroll through. Okay, is every data is fine? Is there any null value? For example, just consider that these columns are doesn't having data. Then upon checking that, you find that okay, these columns are null and they should be populated with some data. Fine. Like that, you will be checking up and you are checking whether there is any anomalies. For example, this is a latitude and longitude data. Okay, in latitude, if some data is present by mistake, that the data entry person has entered like this, then it is a invalid data, right? So in this case, the person who is doing manually checking the data will be correcting it. I hope in a college, uh, while submitting report to principal or such higher authority people, they'll be doing this analysis whether okay all the marks are correct, all the students count in are correct, or all the professors count are correct. Like that, they'll be doing the assessing the quality. The same thing, fine. If it is a small data, then it is that the manual work is fine. It is very easy to do. But what in case if it is a large data? Actual real-time scenarios and all, the data size will be very large, right? So in that case, manual analysis is not at all possible. For that, there are many tools are available. This Talent Open Studio for Data Quality is an open source tool to analyze the data quality. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, okay, before that, let me just tell this as well. This is the standard repository for COVID-19 data. Throughout the world, almost 90% of organizations are using data from this repository to take a right decision. This doesn't have very drilled down to data, but to understand the overall trend of throughout the world, what is the case and what is the trend and all those things, they use this data source. For this demo also, I'm using this data, so this data only. So as you see here, I have picked up one date's data, and you are able to see this data. So this is nothing but FIPS, what we call as pin code. Just a minute, Vignesh. So this is nothing but the pin code, and this one, like what to say? Let me explain. Yeah, it is called as a county, and this is province, country, and this is last updated date, the latitude and longitude of this county, and what is the confirmed count as of this date, what is the death and recovered and active. So just imagine that in as of June 22, confirmed count is 99, which is the same as active. So nobody has recovered. And what is the incident rate and fatality rate? So since there is no death, the fatality rate is 0. So like this is one date's data. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, before doing analysis with this data, I'm using this data quality analysis tool, that is data profiling tool, to understand the quality of data. For that, I have already installed this Talent. It requires Java, right? Due to time consideration, I may not be able to explain the procedure to install and all those things. You can check online, or you can give me the message. You can just contact me. I'll just help you. So for this, I have enabled the connection as file delimiter, and since my data is going to be file, I choose a file delimiter, and let me just quickly give a name and tell where my file is. So this is a simple viewer. So while doing this itself, we need to select this format as well, which is Windows or Unix or what kind of file. So I'm choosing Windows and giving next. I quickly set it as CSV, and my escape, sorry. Okay, I choose that my separator is comma, right? That, as I told earlier, there can be any kind of separation. That's why it is called as unstructured data. So I'm choosing my separator as comma, and I'm telling that I have a header row. So I choose this option, and let me just quickly do this preview. So I'm able to get this tool is able to understand my actual raw data properly. Okay, and upon giving next, it is asking me to select the metadata. So here I just need to confirm. Okay, these are all the description: FIPS, integer, admin, string. It has automatically recognized my data type, and I just need to confirm. So latitude, longitude, I think both are double. We can have it as double itself. That's not a problem. So confirmed, depth recovered, integer, it is combined as integer, incident rate, fatality. So everything is fine. So what I'm going to do is just finish. That's it. So my connection is enabled. Okay, now what I'm going to do is start the analysis. That is data profile. Here, straight away, I'm going to give new analysis. So there are different types of analysis. Structural analysis. If you are connected with a database, then the schema will be analyzed. Cross table analysis. If there are more than one table, the redundancy will be analyzed. There are many things there. So just understand that analyzing the quality of your data. That's all. Very simple. So in our case, it is a simple CSV. So I'm going to choose basic column analysis. Okay. I'm just giving a simple name and giving finish. So here I have landed with this analysis page, and here I have to choose my connection. For which connection I have to do the analysis, and I just proceed with running. Okay, I haven't selected. After choosing the connection, you have to choose the columns. So upon clicking select columns, let me straight away select all the columns for my analysis. Okay, with that, I'm able to once again get a preview of data. Now I need to set the indicators, which is nothing but what I have to analyze in which column. So let me just click this indicator. I'll be populated with a with a window like this. Let me expand this. Fine. So here it will be having many options like different options: simple statistics, text statistics, summary statistics, like that. So for this demo, to easily understand, let me just choose this simple statistics alone. So all these simple statistics will be applied to all these columns for analysis. These simple statistics network: row count, null count, listing count, unique count. It has nothing but is there any null value in any of the column? Is there any blank value? Is there any duplicate data? Like that, it will be analyzing. Okay. So let me just give okay, and let me start to analyze this. Once I click this run button, it will start the analysis, and it will be giving you the statistics. Yeah. So the analysis has been completed, and it is providing the result. For example, what to say? Yeah, FIPS. This, as I told, in India, what we call as pin code. In US, they'll be calling as FIPS. It is telling that the number of rows is 3792, and 682 null columns are there. Just imagine why it is having null columns, because only US table will be having FIPS. For example, in my actual data, let me filter out US. So I have excluded US alone. In this case, the FIPS will be null, right? So this is what it is also telling. So 682 rows doesn't have FIPS column, like that it is telling. This is fine. We know it is. Similarly, if I have any null count in for country also, then it is a problem, right? Without country, what is the stats of this thing? There is no meaning at all, right? So my country column should not be null. I have to ensure that 0 is present in country column. If any column is null, if any column is null, the count will be presented as 1, 2 or so. And based on that, I should understand that, okay, some data is not right. I have to revisit my data and should correct it. I should not start my data analysis, right? So like that, you'll be getting all these stats. I have just run only one kind of stats. As you saw, I have just run only one kind of stat, just that simple statistics. There are many statistics, but for this demo, it is fine to understand this one. You are just analyzing the quality of data, okay? So coming back to the slide. Oh, sorry. So doing this data profiling process with a tool will be increasing your speed, and it will save you the money as well. Like instead of using this tool, just imagine if I do this profiling by manually, then how much time I have to spend? At least 30 minutes effective. Even though I do an effective check, at least I need 30 minutes to ensure that my data is super fine and there is no error at all. So in industries and companies, they use such kind of tool. Talent, Talent is open source, and there are many other tools like iData, MicroStrategy. Tableau itself has some tool, MicroStrategy. There are many tools out there. So at this stage, we have completed our profiling, and we were ready for analysis also. So just imagine that we have completed our analysis as well. And finally, we have to do the visualization. So here comes the BA tool, Power BI. There are three things which you have to keep in mind. Always audience in mind. That is, the chief minister has assigned the task to find the metrics and to a data engineer. The data engineer should keep in his mind that, okay, this report should be very useful to the chief minister, so that he is able to understand. It is not that the data engineer is able to understand the dashboard. The important thing is the chief minister should be able to understand the dashboard. So he have to keep that his audience is chief minister. With keeping in that mind, he has to prepare the dashboard. The second most important point is clever in colors. That is usage of colors. It is also very important. Like even in a current situation, all the TV channels are displaying the confirmed cases count in red color. I totally regret it, because we all know that all the confirmed cases are not in total danger, right? Just 1 to 2% is the mortality rate. So why should you have to what to say, see the fear in the people's mind? You can just have in a different color, like blue or something, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. It is not only using about pleasing colors in a dashboard, and also think about where your audience has to look and create a sparring contrast to achieve the attention. And third, use more words. A dashboard will be having obviously different charts, but the words are also important. Just imagine in Sun TV or any other TV, they are just showing a bar graph, like different bar graphs without any words. There is no meaning. on top of bar, you will be able to notice a number just popping up. Only then you will be understand, okay, last week count is 1000, this week count is 1300, like that they are telling. So using words is also important in a visualization. Okay. So this is like a rule book which most of us would be using while we get confused between choosing chart type. So first of all, we'll be understanding what is the context. What is the context we'd like to show? If we'd like to show the confirmed count between different cities, then it is nothing but comparison, right? We are comparing different cities confirmed count. So I go on with this tree. Then I'll be analyzing whether it is over time or among items. Between different cities is not time, it is items, right? So I'll be going up with this. So once again, based on the scenarios, I'll be finally deciding that I should use a horizontal bar chart because I'm going to show the confirmed count between different cities of Tamil Nadu. So Chennai, Chengalpattu, Tiruvallur, Kanjipuram, like that, I'll be listing. Right? You're able to understand? Okay. So at this point, let me ask you this question. As I told earlier, measures are numerical values that mathematical functions work on. Which one of the following is a measure? Can you type in the chat box? Which one of the following is a measure? Sales revenue, sales region, sales date. Okay, that's great. Priyadarshini and Mahima have answered sales revenue. Yeah. So sales revenue is a measure because we'll be able to add the different revenue of the revenue of different regions and different dates. So we'll be able to add, but we cannot add the region. We cannot add region. We cannot add the sales or simply Coimbatore and Chennai. But we can add Coimbatore sales and say Chennai sales. Fine. And next question is, how do you find out is your data is good enough for analysis? We just discussed a few minutes back about this. How do you find out is your data is good enough for analysis? Yes, exactly. Vaishnavi has answered data profiling. Yes. So before doing analysis, we'll be assessing the quality of data. That is nothing but data profile. That exactly correct. Yeah. Okay. So now let me just open up my Power BI. I think the time is 11. Okay. Oh my God. I have already crossed 11. Ma'am, is it fine to proceed with 15 more minutes? Is it okay?
It is okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have already opened up my Power BI. And for this scenario, let me just open a new Power BI. So Power BI is a data visualization tool. Okay. I'm sorry. This is a business intelligence tools. Data visualization can be done with any tool like Excel and all those things. We can create bar charts even in Excel itself, but a business intelligence tool only will be able to provide features like sharing and collaboration. So this is a main another difference between data visualization tool and business intelligence. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect with the same COVID-19 data, the metrics of latest metrics what we have. I mean what John Hopkins has released, and going to showcase you some metrics. Design a dashboard and showcase you how it is being done. So first of all, as I told earlier, connect. Connect is the first step, right? So I'm going to click the get data. Now this will open up a data screen. So here I should be choosing where my data is. So in this case, my data is going to be in CSV file. So I'm going to choose CSV. Like that, as I told earlier, the data source may be in any source, either it is a database or Azure scenarios or online service like Salesforce or anything. Just for our today's case, it is CSV file. So I'm connecting that, and I'm going to get the data of July 2nd date. Okay, I'm going to select this. So can you understand the date format? Since John Hopkins is a US university, the date format is month, date, and year. If it is in India, we'll be having as date, month, and year. So like that, the patterns will be different. So we have landed it with the data. We have connected, and it is just showing the data preview. So here it is asking whether I can load it directly or do some transformation. I'm going to choose transform data. Here it is the analysis part, the basic analysis part. So I'll be overlooking the data, and I'll be checking out, okay, whether everything is fine, whether I have all the columns as needed by me, and I'm checking that here additional column is there, right? Date and time. But for my scenario, just date is enough. So what I'll be doing is I'll be choosing the date alone. Let me expand this. So I have selected the transform here, and I'll be having an option called date. So here, if I choose simply as date, it will create another column. Okay, not another column. This column itself is being transformed as only date. Okay, previously it was with date and time, and once I gave this as date, it is showing me the date alone. Okay, such like this, the transformation is done. And similarly, I'm just checking that, okay, so all the other columns are fine. I'm well and good. I'm okay with this. So what I'm going to do is close and apply. Now my connection phase has completed, and I'm in the middle of analysis phase, analysis and visualize phase. So it is converting that CSV data into a format such that Power BI will be able to understand, and Power BI able to easily interact to apply visualization over it. Okay, I think, yeah, it is connected. So with this, to explain about this interface, the right in fields is nothing but the columns which you have connected, the data which you have connected. And next, visualization, choosing upon different visualization, bar chart, column chart, map, and all those things. Next, filters for this dashboard. That is, if it is a dashboard for the whole world, I can set a filter column as country, and I'll be able to select a country like India. Then only India's data will be displayed like that. I'll start explaining that. So first of all, let me just show the number. Just imagine that for this demo, for this 5 minutes demo, I'm going to showcase a dashboard like this: confirmed, active, recovered count, and a overall map that displays the entire data. Okay, I'm going to repeat this process.
நீ ஒரு கேன அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டா அவன் பேசுறது கேக்குது, நான் பேசுறதா அவனுக்கு கேட்காது.
Okay, I have muted everybody. So fine, let's start over. So here I have placed a number card, and here I'm going to choose this measure field, confirmed count. This is a measure because we will be able to summarize the data, right? Add the data. So by default, it will be applied with addition. So that's why it is having the symbol as addition symbol, summarize symbol. Okay. Now again, let me pick up another number card. to show the active cases. Where is active? Yeah, here it is. So I'm able to show the active cases. And next, so just to come back with the slide, what we talked. Okay. In my dashboard, first thing is using colors. So for confirmed, I'm going to choose the color as okay. So here I can do select the different operations, sum, average, and all those things we have already applied. And you'd be seeing the some an icon like a brush. So clicking that button, you'll be able to see these different options. For now, let me just change the color alone. So for confirm, let me have it as blue color. Okay, and for active, let me have it as orange color. So using the right colors. Okay. Fine. So next, let me open up a map visualization. There is something wrong. 1 second. Yeah. Next, let me use the map widget. With this map widget, what I'm going to show is countries and confirmed cases. Okay. So since this is a map, I'm going to expand it as much as possible. So in a big map, it has populated, and I'm able to format this also. So I can tell whether the heat map should be on or not. So if it is heat map, then it will be having such an style. If I just switch off my heat map, it will be populated like this. So everything will be you'll be able to do in this application itself. There is no code at all. Okay, that's how BA tools have matured nowadays. Fine. So just imagine that I have completed all such scenarios, and let me open up a completed dashboard. It might take 1 or 2 seconds to complete. Okay, it might take 1 or 2 seconds. In the meantime, let me ask this question. So what is the new feature in Microsoft Excel that does automatic data visualization? Yes, that's correct. Ideas. Thank you, Pradarshini, for answering. And one more question. That's great. Yes, Soumya, ideas. Apart from connect and visualize, what is the third important thing in a business intelligence tool? Not only business, it is just imagine that's data analysis tool. What is the third important thing? Yes, it is share. That's great. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Yes. Okay. Let me just check whether my report is populated. Yeah, it is getting populated. I have actually, with the help of a reference, I have completed preparing a dashboard, but in this time format, I'll not be able to do that step by step again, because preparing this itself will take 1 hour. I'll just explain this in a term. I'll tell the story alone. Okay. So I have populated the United States of America, that's whole United States of America's data into this dashboard. Okay. You can already find this dashboard in online as well. But with that, we also can prepare, just start to prepare this file, such a dashboard. So you'll be able to get the state-wise data, the New York State confirmed cases, death and fatality rate, Similarly, it has been sorted in the in this order, confirmed cases order, and you're having a map, you're having a daytime widget, and daily deaths and daily cases. So how each day how much the count is present, all those things. And I think I have already published it, but unfortunately I don't have the link. Let me quickly publish. Okay. Let me show it in a published view. So desktop designer is sorry, desktop Power BI is one with which you can design all the reports. Finally, when you have completed, it is like saving your work, saving your work. So if you just give this publish, this report will be published to online. Okay. So let me just open up my published report and tell you a quick story. Actually, this dashboard is a summary of nearly 4 lakh rows. Just imagine how you'll be analyzing 4 lakh rows if it is an Excel or SQL, sorry, CSV file. Unless it is created as a dashboard or report, we'll be able to quickly analyze. B means a decision maker like the President of the United States or Chief Minister of the Governor of one particular state also. So this is the published view. With this view, I can even drill down to select this date. For example, let's say this is of June 23. Then I can able to select this alone, and I'm able to get the details of June 23rd stats alone. So on particular June 23rd, what is the confirmed case and total confirmed case and total deaths. So what is the depth of the same, and what is the status of other states in the United States and all those things. So if I want to just do need of this, if I just unclick, everything will be fine. So this date range filter, let me select from January 21 till July 2nd. Okay. So you could see the charts are getting changed. So from the January 21, it has been so exponentially rising, and then it was decreasing, and then it started exponentially rising. Maybe the government would understand that due to the protests which happened in news. I hope most of you would have watched in a news channel. There was a huge protest throughout the United States. So there was a decline in the daily confirmed new cases, and once again it started to increasing, and it is reaching once again it is reaching a huge peak. Each day it is getting 56,000 cases. So the same case with death rates also. It has to slowly started to decrease, and once again it looks like increasing. So like this, the government agencies can decide what is going on and all those things. And you also see that this much space is allocated to the data source to explain the data source, because the decision maker should be able to understand that this data is not such a dummy data. It is a valid data, and where it is from where this data is being referred and all those things. So this much space, it is important to to mandate that this dashboard is a valid dashboard. Okay. So in this widget itself, we can switch with tabs, confirmed cases and total deaths. Similarly, uh, as you could see, that New York is suffering with more deaths, and similarly, coming to the cumulative charts, it has nothing but increased count day by day. How much count is being increased? It is cumulative, right? This is what our news channels are displaying. So previously it was there. Now it is. So now the count is like this, like that. And this also you'll be seeing in some news channels. So day by day, last week, what is the number of case, and this week number of case this week, like that it will be here. So this is how, if from the scratch, from the raw data till the visualization, this is what the overall process will be, right? And coming back to the slide, I might be taking a couple of minutes, so just bear. So to tell some open source tools, it is you can just check out Tableau Public or Kibana. Both are open source. And data profiling, as I told earlier, Talent Open Studio is open source tool. Okay. So now let me play this video. Just watch this till end. Pratisha ma'am, can you just let me know whether you are able to, sorry, Gunasudri ma'am, can you just let me know whether the audio is visible?
Yes.
No, the audio of this.
That picture is visible. TikTok picture is visible.
I need you to do.
Are you able to hear?
Yes.
Do this.
Okay.
Now put it on your chin. Okay, good. Now do it again, but put it on your chin. Yeah, but put it on your chin. Do this, but put it on your chin.
I put it on my chin.
Okay, put it on your chin. No, do this, what I'm doing, and put it on your chin. God, I said do this, listen to my words. Do this and put it on your chin.
This and put it on my chin.
Mama, do this. Oh my God. Okay, stop. Mama, I said do this, and put it on your chin. Mama, is this your chin? I said your chin. This is your chin.
Did you see, guys, how powerful the visualization is? Actually, the mind understands and gives priority about what it sees first before what it can hear. The son is explaining repeatedly, hear my words, understand my words, but the mother's mind just simply replicates what she is seeing, right? So visualization is so powerful, and I hope you all like this presentation. If you have any questions, let me know.
Audience, if you have any question, you can unmute and ask a question.
Okay, Mahima has asked, why should I go for Power BI instead of Tableau? That's a nice question. There is a lot of BI tools, Mahima. So throughout, like in this market, there is a lot of BI tool. Even I am working in a BI tool called as Bold BI. It is not Power BI or Tableau. So each tool will be having different set of features. To come back with the slides, I just explained about these charts, right? So different BI tools will be having this number of charts. So one chart might have this kind of radar chart. Sorry, one tool might have this radar chart, but Tableau doesn't have. Power BI may have, and Tableau doesn't have. Similarly, Tableau may have this chart, and Power BI may not have this one. So like this, each tool is specialized with something. Okay, and one more main difference is different tools will be supporting different data sources. Okay, so one tool might be supporting this Go Squared, Tableau might not be supporting. So based on your use case and requirement, we should choose the tool. But ultimately, it is one thing. If we are going to make cooked sambar, then using Shakti Sambar Pudi or using Achi Sambar Pudi, whatever it may be, the sambar is same. It is up to our choice whether to use Shakti Sambar Pudi or Achi Sambar Pudi. How your mom is deciding, go and buy Shakti Sambar, not Achi. I need only Shakti. She might be comfortable with using that Shakti Sambar. That's it. So if you are basic, pretty much strong in basics to understand, okay, which is dimension, which is measure, how I should understand the data, how I should see SQL and NoSQL, all these things, then whatever the tool you are going to use, it is nothing is going to have a pretty much big difference. So let me just give my email ID. So if you have any queries, you can get back to me. And is there any
I
other
think
question?
there is no more question.
Okay. And also, I'll be sharing my LinkedIn profile. So you might get in touch with me in LinkedIn as well. Online resource and online course to start with data analysis and Power BI especially. Okay. Pretty much, I cannot suggest online course by myself because I don't do any such kind of things like training or something. But you can check out Udemy and what to say, as a course, not as a YouTube video. Okay, so just go on with the course, which should be doing from the start to till the end. Like how I told, from the connection part till visualization. So from that, it should begin with some use case and end with some report and all those things. So in between, you'll be able to easily understand what is going on in between, what is the tool check and all those things. So just check out Udemy. In that, sort out free courses if you are not willing to pay, and in that, just check the presence, social presence. So how many people have liked and already viewed that course? Based on that scenario, you can choose that course. Okay, Priyadarshini has asked some expert author you already know who give insights same as you. Oh, fine. You mean in Udemy, right? Probably just mail me, Priyadarshini. I'll do some do a simple checkup and let you know the best course which I have came across. Okay. I remember, but I don't have it in my mind. Okay, I think reply to. So this is my LinkedIn profile, and this is my email. So you can get in touch with me.
Okay. So it is a time for vote of thanks. On behalf of Pratisha Engineering College, Department of CSC, Data Analytics Club, I take the opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on COVID-19 data analysis using Microsoft Power BI. At the outset, I thank our resource person, Mr. Dinesh. Thank you, sir. We are enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Raja Rao, for his support. I would like to thank our Principal, Dr. PLN Ramesh, for his encouragement. My special thanks to our HOD ma'am, Ms. Via Kavita, for her support for organizing this webinar. My thanks to all my colleagues who supported and coordinated along with me. Heartfelt thanks to all the participants who wish to enrich their knowledge by attending this webinar. Thank you, one and all.